Ozzy in his Fear Technology, he has one drill that I really, really love, which is basically you see like random groups of people walking down the street. It can be a girl by herself, guys and girls, all guys, whatever. And what you do is you just walk with them. You don't try and hit on them. You don't try and like lead the conversation. You don't try and push pull them. You don't any of this shit. You just walk with them. You just walk next to them and talk. And you do it until they basically like forcibly tell you to like fuck off and make you actually do it, right? You don't try and get their attention. You don't try and make them stop. You just walk with them and talk. No big deal. And you just get used to this idea of just blabbering and having it not necessarily be intentful, not necessarily be a big deal. And what I would encourage you to do if you have massive approach anxiety is allow yourself that. Allow yourself the approach that's not crazy intentful. Allow yourself the approach that doesn't have to go somewhere, right? Just go get yourself talking. And what you'll find is, first of all, you'll realize it's like the approach itself isn't such a big deal. But secondly, sooner or later, just on like random chance, somebody will be friendly. There'll just be a friendly, cool person that will have wanted to talk to someone and they'll just strike up a conversation with you. Or, you know, some girl who you like will just say, oh, cool, some guy finally talked to me. And then you start getting a positive momentum. So the biggest thing is just do it, but give yourself permission to do it shitty. Give yourself permission to suck, okay? Here's a quick little poll. Those of you who have watched a lot of my videos may have heard this once or twice before, but just go with it. How many people are on the planet Earth?
7 billion.
7 billion, give or take. How many of those are women?
Half at least.
So 3.5 billion. 6 billion women? True abundance. Not like delusional abundance. Either that or your criteria for women is very low. It's okay though. So 3.5 billion women on the planet, okay? But we don't want all of them. A lot of them are ugly, fat, boring, whatever, right? We want cool, hot women, right? So let's say we want the top, I don't know, is what top 1% good enough for you? Is that good for your taste? Top 1%? That would be 35 million. 35 million. Do you think you can do 35 million approaches in your lifetime? No? Probably not. Let's say that's a 10-year age range. Every year into that range, there's another 3.5 million aging in. Do you think you can do 3.5 million approaches in a year? Point is, you are not going to run out of women. Okay? It's not possible. Trust me, I've been trying for 14 years. Can't fucking run out. Here's an interesting one. Like I told you guys I'm doing an online dating product, so I'm on OkCupid, but I'm also on Tinder here, right? I've been fucking clicking. I fucking can't run out. Like I can't get to the bottom of the pool. It takes forever. I'll probably like cumulatively, like while I'm doing other things, like click like 4 hours, just click. There's a lot of fucking women, all right? Now again, on Tinder, like some of them are hot and some of them definitely aren't, especially if you're like auto swiping right, you know, whatever. You get matched with some beasts. But the point is, there's a lot of fucking women on the planet, all right? So you're not gonna run out, it doesn't matter, all right? Don't worry about the outcome of any one interaction. I promise you, I've been rejected more than any person in this room. I dare anyone to stand up and challenge me on that one. No, absolutely not. I have been rejected more than anyone in this room, probably by a huge margin, all right? I've also, this may or may not be true, but I'm gonna say most likely I've slept with more girls than anybody in this room. It's possible there's someone here who's been with like 1,000 girls or some shit, who knows? In any room it's possible, who knows? Especially in a room like this, it could happen. But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I'm probably at least in the top 3 in this room. Let's say that's probably a pretty safe bet. All right, so I've been rejected a lot, but what do I experience in my life? I experience the fact that I've been with hundreds of beautiful women, and I've had abundance, and I've had the ability to choose, and I've been with that brilliant girl who like just gets the world and is so incredible. And I've been with the bisexual girl that'll hunt girls with you, and I've been with the girl that like is in Maxim's 50 hottest girls on the planet. I've been with those girls. That's the great thing. The rejections don't matter. In fact, I can't even remember the rejections, and that's funny. Like I literally cannot remember them. I'm aware that I've taken tens of thousands of rejections probably. That's just a rough guess. If you were to ask me right now, remember 10 rejections, I literally cannot. Is that weird? I literally cannot remember 10 rejections. Why? Because they're non-events for me. They're over so quickly, they don't matter, they don't strike in my memory. And because I have this delusional narcissistic focus. I remember every positive. I remember every girl that smiled at me, every positive thing, every indicator that I am the man, every indicator that I'm special and incredible. I got them right here. But all the rejections don't even matter. In fact, the only rejections I can really remember are either if they're Tinder match. If they're incredibly funny, incredibly funny, or if they happened right before like something really positive. Like a lot of times my harshest rejection of the night will happen right before the girl I pull. So in that case, I'll remember it because it's like, I'm like, fucking hell, why'd that girl fucking almost throw me in the pool? What the fuck? Hey, you, who the fuck are you? She's like, oh, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. Hi, Todd. She's like, oh, okay, cool, let's go. Right? A few more words in between. But so I'll remember that one because like that's a specific one that I remember is extremely, like this literally girl almost threw me in the pool. I was so pissed off. I grabbed the next girl, terrified her, but it worked, right? So I'll remember that. But yeah, change your focus. Change your focus towards the positive. Change your focus to the fact that it doesn't matter. And just be willing to take your rejections. Understand you have to, understand it's not a big deal. And understand that anyone who, if you go up and you're like, hi, I thought you were cute and wanted to talk to you, and they go, fuck off. Who's really weird in that interaction? Right? Imagine the ugliest, fattest girl on the planet came up to you and said, hey, I think you're really, really hot. I just wanted to come say hi to you. Now, you're probably not going to sleep with her, granted. But even that, you're a little flattered by. You're like, thank you, I appreciate that. Right? I'm late for a meeting, but I appreciate that. Right? So if you're really going to say fuck off to someone doing that, that's pretty socially fucked up. You don't want to be that person. So don't be that person. Okay, last of those topics, how to go for the kiss.
On the date, yeah.
On the date, because it's different. Different on the date. Fuck, dude. Can do it anywhere else, but when it's on a date.
It's like obviously drunk hookups or whatever. On the date, if like it's just you and him.
Somebody say something? Okay. Anyway, I don't even know what that means. Oh, both. Okay. If I said bow, I'm like, bow, what is this? Some like Australian slang? Bow. All right, what the fuck? I don't know what that is. Being like heckled. Yeah, okay, so how to go for the kiss on the date. Well, I'll tell you about the date I had last night. How I went for the kiss on that date. It was about 5 minutes into the date. So I met this girl. It was like an online date. So she showed up and she didn't exactly look like her pictures, but she had a good body. So I was like, fuck it. I basically decided it was either going to go down in like an hour or less, or I wasn't interested. So I met her at this bar, which was kind of weird and kind of shady. I had all these old people there, and I don't know. I picked it off of like a picture online. I'm like, let's meet here, because fuck, I don't know Sydney. And so I had one quick drink, and then I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. And then there were stairs, because like a hotel bar. And the stairs, one of the stairs went down to the street, and the other stairs, there was like this like dark stairway, dark hallway that said like, employees only, do not enter. So I'm like, are you adventurous? Come on, let's go on an adventure. Took her up the stairs. And then when we were sort of like up the stairs, I just like held her hand, just like, hey, come here. And like started talking quietly. I'm like, come here. Pulled her over, and then like just did it like in the dark, so to speak. Here's an interesting, I'll get to your thing again in a second. Here's a really interesting that happened to me. You guys should field test this. This is pretty amazing. I was in Vegas, so granted it's Vegas. Started talking to a girl. I'm talking to her for about like 5 seconds. And there's attraction, but it's not like crazy, right? My friend Alex had a jacket. He just threw the jacket over both of our heads. Immediate kiss. Brilliant technique. If you have a wingman, try it. I've only tried it once, but just how well it worked, I think it's good. I think it's a good technique, so try that. So yeah, darkness, lack of discovery, that always helps. Now, how I will go for a kiss on a date. I don't care about a kiss per se, okay? I've slept with something like 12 girls who I have not kissed. Right, this happened to me about 12 times in my life. I'm just, give or take, about a dozen. That can be for various reasons. Some of them are because they have a boyfriend, and I find that out. Some, maybe they're just weird, who knows? Some don't like to kiss, who knows? So don't think that the kiss is the be-all and end-all, okay? Instead of thinking about the kiss as a milestone or objective, think instead about the experience you're giving, and think about things progressing towards the message of we like each other, and this is gonna go somewhere, okay? And so in going for the kiss, what I try and do is I try and create that vibe and let the kiss kind of happen naturally as part of that vibe. So the first thing is show interest, show intent. Okay, so give a girl a compliment, put her on the spot, right? If you look at a girl and be like, you're fucking cute. I didn't think you were, but I just noticed you're actually quite cute. And then leave that awkward silence that makes all of you giggle, right? Because if it makes you guys giggle, what's it gonna do to a girl, right? Be willing to slow down. This is the biggest thing, is you need to have that phase shift. If you're bubba 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 bubba, it's hard to kiss. That's a hard vibe to kiss out of. But if instead, my darling free tour attendees, right? If instead you have that like more sensual, slow vibe, you have the good eye contact, that's gonna be much more conducive to the kiss. Okay, so you want to slow it down at some point. Once you know that she'll carry the conversation a bit, you want to just take a breath, relax, and let her carry it, okay? In fact, specifically on the date, if it's a planned date, you have a lot of huge advantages. The beauty of the planned date is it's a social construct that actually works in your favor, okay? The girl's agreed to go on a date with you. She's there, she's decided she likes you. In doing that, she's also made a commitment that she wants it to go well. No girl wants to come on a date, sit in awkward silence for 2 minutes, and then drive home and have to tell her like girlfriends about the shitty date she had, right? On a date, she's under just as much pressure to make it go well as you are, if not more. So that means you have an advantage. Because what you can do is not do any of the work, right? You can just sort of go on strike, right? I'm actually not kidding. So a lot of my strategy, why I'm able to pull girls quickly on dates, is I don't go into the date thinking, oh my God, let me entertain this girl and impress her and tell her a lot of cool stories. I show like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Yeah. You look very cute. Yeah, so wine list is great, right? If even. Ideally, by the time I even get to like the second of those, she's already like so nervous and awkward that she's already filling in the silences, right? Or say, for example, I meet a girl on the day, just like, hey, how are you? Good to see you. Right? All of a sudden, she's gonna start talking, right? She's gonna start talking. She's gonna start chasing me. She's gonna start asking questions. She's gonna start gaming me, and she's gonna feel nervous and awkward, and she's looking for me to interact with her, looking for me to do something. And nervous and awkward is a great place from which to kiss a girl. If the girl is a little nervous and awkward, that's a good time for it. But the biggest thing is that change in energy. I'll tell you a quick story of how I sort of learned to always kiss on the date. I had a girl, it was back in 2002, 2003, back when we were like Project Hollywood, for any of you who have read the book, The Game. And I was on a date with this girl. I'd been out with her a couple times, and we really liked each other, we had a good vibe. But the problem was she just liked to talk. She really liked to talk, and she was like very animated. She was always moving around. And it's very hard to kiss a moving target, if you've noticed. If you can get a girl to sit down and like chill out, it's easy to kiss her, but she's fucking all bouncy. How the fuck do you kiss the girl? So I didn't know. And I've been out with her a couple times, and I knew I had to kiss her. I knew it was necessary, but I just couldn't get her to sit still for it. And so at the end of the date, she got in her car and she left, and I was like so pissed off. And they're like, well, how'd it go? I'm like, well, it was good, but like fucking I didn't kiss her. I know I had to. It's probably over now. I fucked it up, right? And so one of the other guys was like, okay, call her back. Here's what you do. Call her back. Say you have something. There's something she forgot, right? Just make her come back. So I called her up, made her come back. She had to drive 5 minutes back to like come meet me, right? So when you get here, when she gets here, here's what you do. You walk over to the car and you say this. You say, you know, we talked a lot. We talked too much. Come here. And kiss her, right? That's a phase, that's what we call a phase shift. You're like, ba 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 ba, calm, chill, sensual, going for it, putting the pressure on her, okay? And when you make that decision, just go with it. Just follow through. And know that worst case, if you go for the kiss, this is what held me back. I was worried about getting rejected on the kiss. Worst case, if you go for the kiss and get rejected, you're still usually in better shape than if you hadn't tried. Because now she's hanging out with you under the context of the guy who tried to kiss her and she's still hanging out with you, right? So you're in a much better position.